This is the second part of our video on calculating y-intercept. So our question here says, calculate the y-intercept for each of the following lines, given the slope and a point on that line. So our first example says that the slope is -4 and it passes through the point 11 and -5. So if you don't have a graph to work with and you have to do this with calculations, the secret is to start with y equals mx plus b. That is the generic equation of a line. M stands for the slope, b stands for the y-intercept, and x and y represent all of the points on our line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that slope of -4 and I'm going to substitute it in for m. And then I'm going to take the point 11 and -5 and I'm going to put that in for x and y. And then that should allow us to calculate b, which is our y-intercept. So I'm going to substitute in -5 for y, -4 for m, and 11 for x, right? mx means m times x, so -4 times 11, and then plus b. And we are going to try to solve for b. So -5 equals, I'm going to multiply -4 and 11, use a calculator if you need to, but -4 times 11 is -44 plus b. If you want to flip that equation over, please do that. I'm going to try to do it without because we only have one operation we need to do, and that's just canceling out that -44. So I'm going to add 44 to both sides. So -5 plus 44 is 39, and that's b. So that means my y-intercept, I'm going to maybe cheat and just say the y-int, is 39. Okay, we need to try another one, this time with a fraction. So this one says our slope is 2/5 and the point is 10 and 1. So once again, I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use 2/5 for my slope. And for x and y, I'm going to use the point. X comes first and then y. So my y is 1. My slope is 2/5. We'll have to talk about that in a minute. X is 10 and then plus b. Okay, so in the previous one, our next step was to multiply the m and the x together, right? We multiplied those two numbers. That's what we need to do here. Now, when I multiply fractions, we do top times top, bottom times bottom, or numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So the problem is that 10 has a numerator, but it doesn't have a denominator. It actually does. It's secretly over 1. So I am going to multiply 2 times 10 to get 20, and 5 times 1 to get 5. So this is going to be 1 equals 2 times 10, I'm going to make this bigger, is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. And then plus b. Now at this point, I'm going to ask myself, does 20 divide nicely by 5? And the answer is yes, it does. 20 divided by 5 is 4. And then plus b. And you'll notice I don't have a fraction anymore. This is great. So I just need to finish by subtracting 4 from both sides. If you need to flip over that equation, flip it over first. That's fine. 1 take away 4 is -3. So the y-intercept for this line is going to be -3. Okay, we have one more example. This one also has a fraction. It says our slope is -1/3. Our point is -12/5. So I am going to start with y equals mx plus b. I'm going to put -1/3 in for my slope, and then -12 and 5 are just the point x and y. So I'm going to put 5 in for y. I'm going to put -1/3 in for m. Now, when I do this, I am going to put the negative with the numerator. We have a choice. We can either put the negative with the numerator, or we can put the negative with the denominator, but I think it'll work better for us if we put it with the numerator. So I'm going to write this as -1/3, and then times x, which is -12 plus b. I need to multiply these together. And in order to multiply fractions, we do top times top, bottom times bottom. So secretly underneath that -12 is a 1. So this is going to give me -1 times -12. Use a calculator if you need to. That's +12. And then 3 times 1, which is 3, plus b. Now, I'm going to keep going. 12 divided by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 5 equals 4 plus b. And then I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides to get 1 equals b. So our y-intercept is 1. Okay. You can join me in our next video to see how to do the last question in this lesson.